The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Thanks for joining us. This is DeRo and Arch with On Deck. Darren Archer is in the studio with me here tonight. We're going to discuss some Missouri college athletics, and we'll start a little broader than that and start with some national things. First of all, Darren, how was Thanksgiving break for you?
It was great. Never is long enough, but boy, we ate well and got to see some friends and family, and just a very relaxing Thanksgiving. We're very blessed.
Absolutely. If you're like me, the grandkids sort of take center stage, so it's always a good time to be around those little ones.
Absolutely.
Let's get started with some national news. College football. They have determined the top 12. The committee put together a top 12. Tough process, I'm sure, and everybody's got an opinion. Overall, we've sort of talked about this through our different episodes, but just generally speaking, you like the top 12 scenario and playing that out in a kind of a tournament fashion?
I do. I think time will tell, if this, I think it'll take away that dead period between this time of the year and New Year's. You take a look at the weekends leading up to Christmas, it's going to be filled with college football. And obviously, with a lot of people off work or, in the weekend prior to Thanksgiving, Christmas, there's going to be a lot of eyes on those games. And I think it's a great deal for the NCAA. It's a great deal for the schools that are involved money-wise. But I think the judge and jury are still out. We'll see. We'll know here within the month if it's a good process or not.
Absolutely. I've got the matchups written down here, so I think I'll just go through these with you and have you sort of look into your crystal ball and give me some predictions.
Oh my!
Yeah, the 5-12 matchup features Texas at the 5 and Clemson at the 12. Who do you have?
Going to have to go with Texas here. Gosh, it's tough too, though. I think I read somewhere they have not beat a top 25 team this year.
I think that's right.
That may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's the case. And if there's anybody that knows how to get a team ready for postseason play, it's Dabo Swinney, and he's been questioned a lot this year. But after winning the ACC and putting all that to rest, hey, he's got his team in, and he'll have them ready to play. But I still think that Texas at each spot has just way the better athletes above and beyond what Clemson does. So I'm going to go with Texas by 10 plus.
Oh, wow. And down the road, the winner of that game would get Arizona State. Either one of those good enough to beat Arizona State?
I think both of them are, but boy, I had a chance to watch Arizona State over the weekend against Iowa State, and they made Iowa State look funny sometimes. They were really good. Got a really good running back, very good quarterback, good set of receivers, and their skill position players are high caliber. Very good defense go along with that. So, Arizona State's going to be a tough out.
I agree. The 8-9 matchup at 8 will be the Ohio State Buckeyes, and the 9 seed or the 9th team is Tennessee. Interesting matchup there. Who do you have?
It is. That seems like a second week type matchup more than
Yeah.
opening weekend. I'm going to go with Tennessee. I think if their quarterback's healthy, he's going to run roughshod over Ohio State. The Big Ten just doesn't see passing like that, game in and game out, the way they do in the SEC. And uh, Tennessee's defense is very formidable. So I'm going to have to go with Tennessee.
Yeah. Winner of that game gets Oregon. I
I
don't
don't know if
know.
anybody beats Oregon right now. I
I don't
mean,
know either.
they're that good. They are
They are
that
really
good.
good.
You know, at the beginning of the season, Ohio State played them within 1 point, I think, or maybe within 3. I can't remember exactly, but it was very, very close. And you know, I thought, ooh, I can't wait to see this matchup again in the Big Ten championship, and it never did happen, never did come to fruition, thanks to Michigan. So, gosh, my goodness, they've got to be odds-on favorite, obviously,
I think
to
so
be
too.
national champions.
Yeah. Third matchup features number 11 SMU versus number 6 Penn State.
I kind of like where Penn State's at right now. You know, you take back a couple of throws that the quarterback made against Oregon in the Big Ten championship, and that game is a lot closer than what the final score represented. You know, Penn State's always going to have a good defense, so I'm gonna have to go with Penn State on this one.
Yeah. Winner gets Boise State. Obviously, the
Gosh,
Boise State running back is just phenomenal. I mean, he's
he is
just off the
phenomenal,
chart.
but I mean, that's a type of game that I feel like a team like Penn State has seen. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They have to prep for those running backs in the Big Ten every week. So, gosh, that's one that Penn State may get through.
Yeah. The final first round matchup will feature Indiana, number 10, versus number 7 Notre Dame. What are you thinking?
Man, this is a tough one. This is 2 Indiana schools facing off against each other,
Yeah.
and I've got friends that attended both schools and got to grow up watching both schools in practically every sport. So I'm going to have to go with Notre Dame just because of tradition and the fact that it is in South Bend, Indiana, home of Notre Dame. So I'll go with Notre Dame, but I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I'm going to say Notre Dame by 7+.
Okay. Winner of that game will get Georgia. They're a handful, always are, it seems like. So I just think I'm with you. I just love this format. I think it provides for some continuity of the football season. You know, sort of it's got the NFL playoffs sort of feel to it, where there's some big games on Saturday, and then you're sort of looking ahead to the next weekend. And so I'm with you. I think it's a good thing. I'm sure there'll be some flaws or some bumps and bruises along the way to the system, but overall, I think it's great. Obviously, Mizzou did not make the field, but they are going to the Music City Bowl in Nashville, where their opponent will be Iowa. So a little bit of kind of that contrast in styles that you referenced with a couple other games, the SEC Mizzou team versus sort of that traditional conservative Iowa team. So what are you thinking there?
Gosh, I think it all depends on. We know that Luther Burden has played his last game as a Missouri Tiger, and I think there could be some other decisions made depending on draft status as players begin talking to their people and potential agents, and feelers are put out. So those are tough to call when you have people that, you know, a week ahead of time, 2 weeks ahead of time may decide if they're going to set this bowl game out. And I really think it would benefit these bowls, you know, now that the NIL is, I guess, legal. That I think it's always been going on. It's just now legal.
Right.
You know, I think that a great incentive for kids to play in bowls is, hey, give up some of that sponsorship money
Right.
and stop giving it to the schools and dispersing it amongst everybody in your conference. Pay these kids, and hey, you're going to have some dang good knockdown dragouts in the quote unquote lesser bowls.
Yeah, and it will be very interesting to see in the top 12, the teams that are still playing for a national championship, if many of those players will pull out of that, and sort of protect their draft status. Uh, Obviously, if you're not in the top 12, I think that's an easier call to make as an athlete. But if you're still in the hunt, I think that becomes a lot harder decision.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would not. Well, yeah, I would. I'd take the having to make that decision any day.
Absolutely,
That's a good
absolutely.
problem to have.
I mentioned SMU earlier. I've got two tidbits of SMU information. One is they are actually scheduled to play Missouri State next year, fall of 2025, as part of Missouri State's non-conference schedule. Missouri State's non-conference schedule will feature USC at USC, at the Sun Belt champion, which was Marshall University, and then they're going to host SMU. So Missouri State certainly taking the next step in terms of their non-conference scheduling.
Absolutely. When you make that leap from the FCS to the FBS, those are the kind of schedules you're going to have to play. And, I'm sure that the two road games obviously are going to generate some money for their program, which, let's face it, this day and age, you've got to have in order to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak. And it'll be interesting to follow their transition from the FCS, taking that step up to the major championship series and the bowl series. So interesting times ahead in 2025 for Missouri State.
Absolutely. The other piece of SMU information, I did a little research over the last couple days on the SMU football program, and late 70s into the 80s, they had some issues with the NCAA and some illegal benefits and those kinds of things, and at that time got what was termed the death penalty, which essentially meant that their football program couldn't exist for a certain period of time. These numbers are just going to blow you away, but I'm going to throw these at you, Darren. It was estimated that in 1985 and 1986, the players for SMU, or some of them, grand total, were given cash payments of $61,000 total. Now, there was some other benefits, cars and those kinds of things, but the actual cash was 61,000 over 2 seasons. The payments to the players ranged from $50 a month to $750 a month.
My goodness, how times have changed, huh?
Yeah, that doesn't even begin to touch the NIL money that's being thrown around. I just read that and I just couldn't believe it. What a difference 40 years makes, essentially. That's literally 40 years ago right now. They also, as a part of that, lost 55 full scholarships that they were able to give, and did not play for the 1987 or the 1988 football seasons.
I remember them receiving the death penalty.
Yeah.
As odd as that sounds, and of course we're aging ourselves. We were in high school and probably just about ready to go to college, I think, when all that occurred. So remember Eric Dickerson with the rec specs, and,
Absolutely.
the whole 9 yards.
Craig James was another big name
Yep.
at SMU during that time. So certainly, by the way, congratulations, Steph. SMU. It's been a 40-year tough road, I'm sure. To those kind of things, lasting effects, extend decades on that kind of stuff. So they've gone from the death penalty in the 80s to being in the top 12 in 2020. So that's an incredible ride for them. When we come back from break, we are going to examine in-state college athletics a little deeper. Some good things going on at Mizzou in a couple areas, so we're going to highlight them, and we will feature the Washington University soccer program, visit a little bit about them as well. So, Darren, when we come back from break here, we'll dive into that. We appreciate the viewers And all of those of you that follow us on Twitter and Facebook, Darren, I'm going to give you a chance to sort of reference where people can find us.
You bet. Be sure to follow us on X or Twitter, whichever you prefer, at DeRo _ on deck or at Missouri _ sports. You can also follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Be sure to subscribe so that anytime we go live with a video, such as we will with this, you will get a notification and can follow along with the latest episodes from all of our programming.
Well, when we come back, we will dive into Missouri college athletics. Lots to talk about there. So be sure you stay with us and join us after the break.
Hi, I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days. Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
And welcome back. Thanks for joining us. This is On Deck with DeRo Arch. In our first segment, we sort of covered mostly national athletics. I did forget to mention as a part of that, the Kansas City Chiefs. We have referenced this over and over on this show. They are finding more ways to win a game than I think I've ever seen in NFL history. And I'm not a diehard NFL guy. I do like to watch it and keep up with it. Don't necessarily have a team, but I'm always watching. And for them to win the way they've won this year is second to nothing that I've ever seen before.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I mean, they're living like a cat and have 9 lives and fall off a building and just flip around on their feet and live to see another day. So it's been very interesting to watch. And I will say this, they have really relied on their defense this year. And I think that's the biggest reason why they're 11, 12 and 1, 11 and 1, I think right now.
Yeah.
So just hope they can keep that good luck rolling. And it was nice to see Isaiah Pacheco back out on the field last night. I think that gives them a whole other dynamic as far as that offense is concerned, that people will start having to prepping for here in a week or two as we approach the playoffs and as he starts to get healthier.
Yeah, and they mentioned something on air last night about them using their 6th tight end of the year. So I mean, they have really battled key injuries at a lot of positions, and their developmental process is outstanding there. They just plug in a new guy of a different name, and it seemingly they don't miss a beat. Offensively, they're not, as explosive as we like to think of them as with Patrick Mahomes and so on. And you're right, their defense is you can just always count on their defense, giving their offense a chance to win it. I think the perspective that we've had in our head previous to that was the offense sort of carried them, but the last 2 years, not so. Kansas City defense really good, for sure. We're going to touch on Mizzou, 2 different sports. First of all, did they have a basketball game yesterday at Mizzou?
I believe we heard it all the way down here in Polk County, Missouri, and Southwest Missouri. What a game!
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't see it coming. I'll be honest with you. Mizzou's non-conference schedule this year ranked really pretty low in terms of their, of comparing it to other schools across the nation. So to see them just knock off number 1 Kansas was shocking to me.
Well, and that's a game that come Selection Sunday, in March could go a long ways into getting them in. If they're in that 11-12 conversation, and the committee looks down and sees an early season win over Kansas University, who was ranked number one at the time, and very well may be ranked number one at that point in time of the season as well.
Right.
That's the type of game that can weigh a lot on who makes it and who doesn't into the NCAA national tournament.
For sure. And this will be a very un-Mizzou-like comment. So Mizzou fans, please take it easy on me. But I watched the Bill Self interview after the game, and he was very quick to give credit to Mizzou. I thought he was very humble, very gracious in defeat. And Mizzou fans obviously have strong feelings about Bill Self, but I was really impressed with his approach to that and giving Mizzou players and staff both their due on that win yesterday.
Absolutely. And one interesting comment that he made during that post-game interview was he was like, "Hey, what a court storming, huh? That's pretty good."
Yeah.
And a lot of times after a team gets beat, their coach comes in, they're pissed off because of court storming, and he's like, hey, that's part of college basketball, and you embrace it and you enjoy it when you're the one storming the court, and you take it like a man when you're not.
Well, and again, Mizzou fans, please don't hate on me, but I thought Coach Self did a really nice job, and it will. I think his comments will even go a long ways, perhaps down the road, if Mizzou's able to stay in tournament contention with him having, that kind of belief and acknowledging Mizzou's growth. Thought that was really important. I thought it was really interesting too. So great game for Mizzou, obviously, and hopefully they'll just pick up steam as they head into the SEC schedule here before too much longer. Switching gears, still Mizzou, but volleyball is a sport now we're going to talk a little bit about. Their volleyball team is headed to the Sweet 16.
It's been an incredible season for the Mizzou volleyball team, and they have just kind of been on a roll even through SEC play. I think they lost a couple late, one to Florida, and it went to 5 sets. And then their next opponent, Kentucky, I think they lost one late in the season to them at home. So familiar opponent, SEC opponent in the Sweet 16. And good luck, Mizzou. That's quite a feat to make it to not only just get in the tournament, but get to the Sweet 16 with a chance to advance.
Yeah, it's been a great run here from Mizzou athletics here recently. The success of the football program, obviously, Mizzou volleyball, and then the win over Kansas in basketball yesterday. Mizzou doing really good things in terms of their athletic programs. Switching gears to Division III, NCAA Division III, we have a national champion out of our state. Darren, I'm going to let you fill the viewers in on that.
Yes, Washington University, our Division III women's soccer national champions. And this is a team that we've been following throughout the fall, DeRo, and we kept waiting for that first blemish in the loss column. And lo and behold, work the end of the season, they have a national championship, and it's still unblemished. So I think they went 29-0-2, I believe was their final record through tournament play, and end up national champions. And that's the second national champion that we have had in the state of Missouri at the collegiate level, along with Mineral Area Women's Cross Country Program, winning the National Junior College Athletic Association national championship as well.
Absolutely. While we're on the topic of Washington University, their basketball programs are apparently to be reckoned with again this year as well. If I have it correct, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe their men are ranked second nationally in Division III basketball, and their women maybe 11th or something like that. So the machine just keeps on turning at Washington University. So congratulations to those team. we'll certainly be keeping an eye on them. And you and I have referenced Wash U several times on here. I went back and counted their men's basketball program alone has had 13 seasons of 20 or more wins since 2006-2007 season.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, so
that's a mark of a very good program and well-established program.
for sure. And I'll kind of segue back. We would love to visit with the Washington University soccer program. If coaches or players are out there listening or tuning in to us, please get in touch with us, and we'd love to visit with you and either quote you on air or even interview you live on air and give you the recognition you're due. So if you have contacts with Washington University soccer program, tell them to contact us. We'd love to visit with them further. Basketball is alive and well in Missouri, all over the nation. Just some general highlights. On the men's side, Central Methodist is 7-3. Evangel men 4-5. Avila 6-5. The Columbia Cougars out of Columbia, Missouri, are 7-3, and they are 4-0 in their conference play. So Columbia is off to a good start. Is Coach Brock still the coach there? Is
He
that right?
still is. Yes, Coach Brock is still there and has that program rolling right along.
Yeah, and obviously Skip Brock, father, is a longtime Southwest Missouri coach and sort of a legend in his own right. So the two Brock brothers are continuing tradition. I think one of them's at University of Springfield in Illinois, and the other one's here in Missouri. So the apple sometimes does not fall far from the tree. So in terms of women's basketball, Missouri Valley off to a good start. I think they are 6-2, something like that. Columbia women are undefeated, 8-0 right now. And again, the Columbia women have tradition there as well. Division II, NCAA Division II, I noticed where Missouri Western is off. Their men are off to an 8-2 start. A great start for them. 0-2 in the MIAA, and there again, you and I know all about that, and so got to bring it every night in the MIAA. What else do we have here? Women, Northwest Missouri State are 7-3. Central Missouri State 7-5. Drury men are 5-3. The women are 6-2 so far on the early campaign. Missouri State played this weekend, the men, and lost to Indiana State by 3 points, I believe. Do you have any information on that game, or able to catch up on that one, Darren?
I was not. I was in a tournament this weekend and was left out of the loop on a lot of things. But Coach Martin has quietly put together a very solid program there in the short amount of time that he's been back at Missouri State. And look for that team to it may not be the type of team that's going to go win the Valley this year, but they're going to run it for somebody.
Absolutely. MSU women are 5-3. Had a 2-point win this weekend, I believe Friday night over Wyoming. So basketball is alive and well in Missouri. It's that time that I've referenced on here before, where the intersection of college basketball and college football. It's a good time to be a college sports fan. Any other thoughts before we get off here for this evening, Darren?
No, just that, hey, we encourage you to keep following all of our state colleges and universities. This week will be generally quiet across the board as far as wrestling, men and women's wrestling, and men and women's basketball, because this is a finals week for a lot of the universities. But come Saturday, things will get cranked back up, and there will be a lot of holiday hoops. We hope that everybody is having a safe and enjoyable holiday season. And DeRo, I've had a good time tonight, buddy. This has been good.
It's been good. We got a lot. I say it every week, but we just got a lot of good things going on athletics wise on the college level in Missouri. and it's always fun to sort of dig into it and learn more about that. And the Washington University soccer program is a prime example of that for me. Before we started sort of dedicating ourselves to this show and doing some research on it, I mean, obviously, I knew that WashU had a soccer program, but I just didn't quite understand the tradition and the heritage and the competitiveness that they've had there. And so that's part of what we want to do here with you as a viewer, is to sort of tell their stories of those successes. And so if you have any stories for us, please let us know. We would love to feature your school or your coaches or your teams, and we'd love to tell your story. So for Darren Archer and Eric DeRosset, thanks for joining us. This is On Deck with DeRo Arch. We will see you next week.
The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.